Thank you for being part of this weather community, sharing it with your friends and family. I appreciate you subscribing. Comments have been awesome. I've been trying to go through those as much as I can. All right, let's get to this weather setup. The big spin approaching Iceland, right? This is here. This is going to allow that moisture to feed in further. And we do have some violent thunderstorms on the way for some of us. We've had that the last 2 days. I talked about that in the last video. That has happened, and we're going to see that on the move as we go over the next couple of days. Parts of Spain, back into France, for example, Germany, Poland, Austria, Czechia, seeing some of those heavier storms that will be moving in, feeding off the very warm water temperatures of the Mediterranean. It's all tied together, what's going on at the surface and above our heads. Now, here's the weather right now, what we've got on the move. Could see a spotty shower sneaking its way over toward parts of England. Elsewhere, this moisture just feeds in. There's a little secondary low, a little secondary spin on top of France. We had the flooding yesterday in some spots. Another little secondary low around Lithuania, another little area of low pressure, but it's that bigger one that is sitting back toward the west that is going to help draw in some moisture, even more moisture. But as we swing back even over toward parts of Belgium, Luxembourg, we've seen some of the showers, and as we swing back toward parts of France, over toward Germany, some rain already on the move. Switzerland, Austria, I've been watching that kind of lifting up to the north, right around Munich. It's been active over the last few days. This lifting its way over toward Czechia, monitoring that. Budapest, we could get a couple of showers, couple storms possible. Slovenia as well, kind of lifting its way toward the north, just a heads up. And then we have some additional showers. This is that other little spin. Latvia, for example, even Estonia, southern sections, couple showers just all filtering in and around. We've been watching that over toward parts of Russia, Belarus. We've seen some of the rain on the move, watching over toward Poland. Now, as we go throughout the day today into tomorrow and even into the upcoming weekend, some of these storms are going to be strong to severe, violent downpours, gusty winds with some of this. The setup for today, keeping an eye on these spots that are a little bit brighter, parts of Italy as we swing back through the Alps, parts of France, and even parts of Spain. Sometimes the models don't do a good job. Portugal, we're a little quieter, but parts of Spain, just because the environment is conducive for thunderstorms to develop. Sometimes the modeling misses out on that, doesn't take into account some of those water temperatures, some of that instability, some of the lift, and then elsewhere, watching out for some of those spotty showers and storms. As I mentioned, Slovenia, Slovakia, over toward parts of Belarus, we'll see some of those showers and storms. Now, here's the outlook for later today. Here are those storms I was mentioning, possibility of them, Barcelona, Valencia. Heads up around Valencia. Chance of some stronger storms possible. Not for all of us, but some of these are going to pack a punch where you see these brighter colors. Big time downpours, over 125 millimeters of rain. Then we swing back toward parts of France again. We could get additional flooding in some spots. Had that moisture around already today. And then as we swing back over toward parts of Austria, northern Italy, some bigger totals later today with some of those storms that will be around. Kind of popping up Serbia, Hungary. We could get a couple of those showers and storms, more in the isolated variety. But by tomorrow, so as we swing into our Friday, you could see some of those storms drifting on the move. These spots here, some of those brighter colors, even watching some, not just extreme northern Italy, but a little bit more kind of north central. We could see some storms right around Florence that will be building right in this sector. So we'll see some of those storms on the move. Here's a sampling of that as we work our way into tomorrow, watching out for some of the storms. We'll get some popping up across Italy, still Spain, France, Switzerland, some big totals. We're talking upwards of 200 millimeters of rain in some spots. No doubt it is going to be heavy. We could see some spots, repeat spots, getting some of the storms, the hail, the strong winds. But Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Kosovo, North Macedonia, we could get a couple of these storms just popping up out ahead of it. The big batch here, but we could get a few as well. Even Albania, maybe one or two popping up, just not as widespread. So where these storms are on the move, the higher thunderstorm threat with us the next few days, same spots getting hit. That is one of the biggest issues. That means that quick runoff, the flooding, and also the large hail damaging winds. This will happen in some spots just because of that overall setup. So here's a look at some of the storms. You can see right through here, Croatia, Bosnia, most of it to the north, but getting clipped by a couple of these showers and storms, Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria later today. Here's that pocket over toward Valencia, even Andorra, we could get a couple of those bigger storms. So right in through here, watching the storms, Czechia, Slovakia, swinging over towards southern Poland by tomorrow. Germany, they're on the move, especially southern and eastern sections of Germany. This is as we swing into deeper later today, I should say, as we get into this evening, the storms on the move. Now let's flip over into tomorrow and watch the storms. Here's the issue. Some of the same spots again. So as we work our way into tomorrow, see these brighter colors showing up right around Switzerland, Austria, watching across Italy as these storms kind of feed up, flare up, and then move again as we work our way into the upcoming weekend. By Saturday, storms on the move. Look at this, how some of them even filter down through Bosnia, Montenegro, mainly north of Greece. Of course, the horrific fires ongoing over toward Turkey. Most of the storms stay away, but Romania, Slovakia, getting some of the storms, southern Poland as we work our way into Saturday, and then as we get back toward Germany again, Austria again, repeat storms. That's one of the big issues. Now, I want to show you these really large rain totals in a moment, but let me swing you to the north. Here's that spin here. You get across the British Isles, Ireland, Northern Ireland, not a whole lot. We're going to be on the kind of warmer side, but Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, I've already showed you some of those showers and storms on the move. By tomorrow, Norway, Sweden, even over toward Finland, some spots we've been so dry. We may get a few showers in some spots. I'll be watching your comments. There's that little spin over toward Belarus, Ukraine, Russia. And then as we work our way into Saturday, look at this spot here, northern sections of Sweden, Finland, an area we haven't seen a lot of rain whatsoever. That chance of some moisture around, even working its way into Sunday, just a heads up. Now, it's not for all of us in Norway, Sweden, but scattered about, spotty as we work our way into Finland. It's not going to be enough for some of us. But look at these storms building. This is a heads up on Sunday. Some of this drifting to the north. Again, Germany, Poland, Belarus, Ukraine. And then we'll see how close some of this gets toward Lithuania, for example. But these are going to be heavy storms. Some of these will be strong to severe as we work our way into Sunday. So giving you that heads up where these storms are going to be on the move. Now, as we swing back towards Scotland, down through Wales, again, the rain chance isn't super high. This spin back here really lifts to the north. It feeds in the moisture. See, as we work our way over toward parts of Germany, this is Saturday. So we're just looking at a very stray chance of a shower, mainly dry conditions as we swing back toward the UK and back toward Ireland. Here are these rain totals over the next 3 days. So it's really the rest of today into tomorrow, into Saturday. But I mentioned Sunday, those storms are going to be on the move too. But just over the next 3 days, those bigger totals where we could get 25 centimeters of rain for 3-day totals. That's some huge amounts. Watching near Valencia and Barcelona, just where these storms pop up, this white to black shading here, that would be 100 to 150 millimeters of rain. But it just depends on kind of where it sets up. This gives us a feel. This spot may be a little bit more south, maybe a little bit more to the north. Keep an eye on Monaco for some of those storms. And then turn over toward Milan, lifting up toward Munich. I mentioned southern ends of Germany, southern end of Germany with some of those storms, Slovenia, but Switzerland, Austria, some really big rain totals. This is going to lead to that flooding around right through this sector. And you can see not a whole lot Hungary over toward Serbia, but some spotty storms possible. Kosovo, hit or miss storm, Bulgaria, Romania, but a little bit more so again, no doubt, Slovakia, Czechia with these storms that are going to drive in and then lift up toward Poland. Poland heads up. On Sunday, it's going to get even stormier. You see these brighter colors, 20, 25 centimeters of rain that are popping up in through here that will lead to flooding. That is a huge concern, and the gusty winds leading to some of those violent thunderstorms. Just the setup we have lifting to the north here, and you can see eventually we could see some of the total stacking up, not as high, maybe 50 millimeters of rain in some spots, but Poland, Belarus, Ukraine, even Lithuania, that's going to build even more so if this were to be a 4-day total. But Norway, Sweden, Finland, that shot of getting at least some spotty showers. Yeah, Finland, we don't have a high chance, but we'll see some hit or miss showers. Helsinki mainly dry. We'll see Sunday and a Monday how much of this could kind kind of pivot its way around. Then, as I showed you, with the spin back toward the north and west of the British Isles, not a whole lot of rain. As that lifts up toward Iceland, we're mainly on the dry side. You can see as we work our way from Inverness back through Manchester, down through Falmouth, Cork, everything generally dry. Small chance of a shower, Edinburgh over toward Birmingham, but that would be it. Now, let me show you the tropics. They are getting more active, so we are way the heck up here. We swing back off the coast of Africa. Couple tropical waves to keep an eye on for some signs of development. And I do want to keep an eye on this spa that will eventually work its way into the North Atlantic. It may develop tropically in nature. I don't know yet if it'll get tied in and kind of hang together and work our way. So just watching this spot here as we work our way. You can see it right here. Here's Bermuda back toward the North Central Atlantic. So I need about a day or so to just kind of see if this will get its act together and kind of lift its way up into our direction as kind of more of a wind maker as we get down the road. So know that I'm watching that. But these tropical waves are definitely getting stronger as they come off the coast of Africa. Better chance of some development. As we know, sometimes if they give us that big curl, we get those remnants as we work our way deeper into the hurricane season. The next name on the list is Dexter. There's already been Andrea, Barry, Chantal. So Dexter is the next name on the list for the Atlantic hurricane season. So repeat areas getting storms. That's one of the biggest concerns. There will be that flooding. You'll see some of the scenes of that in some spots, especially where we get a couple days of some storms around. So it's not all day, but we could get a thunderstorm later today, for example, over towards Switzerland. Another big one tomorrow. Same spots. That is going to lead to that high concern for some of the flooding. So thank you for sharing some of this information. Some of us completely dry and just dealing with some of the heat in spots, but others we're going to deal with that very quick runoff. Then all of this shifts to the east and then to the north. I mentioned over toward Poland and lifting up toward the north as we get deeper into the weekend forecast. That's what I'll be tracking for you in the next video. So I'll go through your comments. Let me know how the weather is where you are. Thank you for being part of this weather community, taking the time to subscribe. Have a good rest of your day and be safe in some of these storms.